And just to start out, this mission and what we did over in Hawaii and helped the county of Maui and the locals there could not have been. We wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of county government, the state of Maryland, and every entity within that helped approve and help get us over there and support us throughout the year. So back on, I received a phone call. I went as the task force leader, so I was in charge of the 70 personnel that deployed on the evening hours of the 15th is when we were notified if we would be able to support a Type 1, which is a 70-person team, and it's our full capabilities. With approvals, we were able to fulfill that for the FEMA USAR branch, and we had our official activation orders on the 16th. That first day, the first challenges started with trying to find air movement of our team and our cache of equipment. And the cache of equipment is roughly about 60,000 pounds of equipment that had to be flown from the East Coast all the way to Hawaii. The team management worked through those hurdles. We're able to secure an airline. And it was roughly 10 o'clock East time, the 70 personnel were in the air. And there soon after, the next day in the morning hours, our cache of equipment were there. We arrived safely, got well-needed rest that night, and then the very next day we went to work with the FEMA Incident Support Team. Is who we answer to. They give us the mission objectives. It was us and 4 other of the 28 urban search and rescue teams there, and that's where we went to work. We worked for 8 straight days, and everybody seen on the news what happened. The scope of the mission, we knew what we were going for. It was very mentally and physically demanding on all the team members. I can't go into a lot of details. We're still under a lot of no talk guidance, no photos through FEMA and the county of Maui because of the cultural sensitivity of the mission, what happened there. But I can give like a little brief overview of what we did and how our members worked. I mean, they were top-notch, high energy the entire time. Professionalism was paramount. They did a great job. And what we did was essentially methodical searches over divisions of areas that were given to us. And these searches contain a lot of delayering of structures. The unsung heroes of the whole deployment for all the teams was the canines that were there. I believe there's upwards of 40 canines through all the teams from the system were there. And the objective was literally to search every inch of the structures in the streets and the vehicles that were within our division. And it was a very slow, methodical process. The individuals on the team were complete full PPE. That ranged from helmets, steel-toed boots, long-sleeve BDUs, dark colors, respiratory protection in the Hawaii heat. The temperatures were, I would say, look good on a screen, but the Maui sun was very, very hot, and these guys and gals didn't falter one bit. They worked hard. The majority of our structures we searched were all 2-story structures, some residentials, a lot of apartment buildings, and a lot of commercial buildings down along the waterfront where when the tragedy happened, where a lot of the people converged to. Those were our areas of search. They worked hard. The days were long, approximately 10 hours a day, rotating through an air-conditioned bus and then back to work. This deployment ranks up there with the ones of Oklahoma City, 9/11 that our team responded to. We all went in with an idea of what we thought we were getting the mission was going to be, but it was way more difficult, challenging than we originally thought. And the guys and gals were phenomenal. by the end of the mission, you know, you could see in their faces their exhaustion. They never once faltered, slowed down, and just kept going. Just a true testament of the individuals that are members of this team. Couple things just to note, just to show the high level that the Maryland Task Force 1 worked at. Just some of the little personal things. The canine handlers, everybody wanted to work with Maryland Task Force 1. They enjoyed the way we brought them into our team, the way we operated in a methodical fashion that the IST wanted us to, so that no inch of the area was left unturned. We did a little ceremony on one of the last days with the Maui Fire Department, who was with us and had been working hand in hand with us for the durations of each day. And it was pretty emotional when the Maui Fire Department, we exchanged a Maryland flag for a Hawaii flag so that the Maryland flag could be hung in their firehouse. And when he broke down and said, you know, we had worked with all the teams, and we only want to work with you guys because of the way you make us feel as a members of your team. And I think it's just a huge thing that they thought that much of our task force, the way we operated there, and showed how the team worked. We worked for 7 straight days. As things started winding down, we were one of the last teams to mobilize, and we arrived back home yesterday morning at 01:35. Once again, finding our own flights home, which was a challenge for 2 of us there, but we were able to successfully do it. We currently still have 2 members of the team in Maui with our cache of equipment. They will be coming home once our cache is airborne, which will probably be roughly the beginning of this coming week. But yeah, like it was a true testament to our team that we can adapt to anything. All of our disciplines were engaged at the top level of doing what they do, even down in the little things that really made this mission successful was like our medical discipline. The doctors and the medical specialists put together essentially a foot care center. Every morning and every evening, they would help wrap members' feet, make sure they have proper moleskin on them for any hot spots or blisters, just so we could continue to work at the level we were. They checked them in the evenings. In every discipline was engaged and adapted to what we needed to do to complete the mission we were tasked with. I've been a member of the team for approximately 17 years now, and this by far was one of our top missions, mentally, physically, and we went out and did it. And to the reviews and the raves of the incident support team, I'm still receiving messages of how happy and proud they were, how we operated, and they knew that they could count on us. So, and it all comes back to the support of the county, the training that the men and women do on a yearly basis. And thank you for your support and getting us out the door and making this team in the state of Maryland look really, really good.